Naughty kitty cat, meow. What a great song for teaching melody and rhythm. I like to use Folkmanis puppets for a lot of games, not only for me holding on to them, but also kids get a chance to put them on when we play the game or we're learning something about melody. Folkmanis puppets are top tier, the absolute best puppets you can get. And this here is Kitty Cat. Today we're going to be working on the rhythm and melody for this song. Let's start with rhythm. Naughty kitty cat, you are very fat. I make all of my own rhythm and melody worksheets, usually on Microsoft Word, so then the kids can get a clipboard and pencil and a worksheet, often a half sheet, and write down the rhythms or melodies with me. Let's look at the rhythm of Naughty Kitty Cat. Now, I used to always use beat dots. I learned beat dots from Jill Trinka. Have you ever heard of Mrs. Trinka? Not only is she a fantastic folk musician, but she's also a music teacher, Jill Trinka. And I first learned how to use beat dots. But I discovered that students, when they write rhythms using beat dots, instead of drawing TT like this as intended, they often draw it like this, where they're using the beat dot as a note head, and it's a little confusing and I have to reteach it. So instead, I started using beat hearts. And the beat hearts show really clearly that this is a beat and we draw the rhythm above this one single beat. Let's figure out the rhythm for Naughty Kitty Cat. So we start off by singing the first motive. Naughty kitty cat, hide it in your head. Hide the rhythm in your head, the tas and the TTs. Say the rhythm out loud. Here we go. T-T-T-T-ta. And we write that rhythm down. T-T. T-T, ta, and we go right away to the next motive. You notice there's an empty beat, and we have, you are very fat, clap that. You are very fat, hide it in your head. Hide the rhythm in your head, the tas and the TTs, and say the rhythm out loud. T-T-T-T-ta. Let's write that down. T-T, T-T, ta. Again, leaving a beat empty. You have butter on your whiskers. When you go through the deriving process or the derivation process for the third motive, you can shorten it a little bit by going, are those all ta or are they all TT? You have butter on your whiskers. Yeah, they're all TT. You have them draw TT on all four beats, and then you try the last motive. Naughty kitty cat, try that. Naughty kitty cat, hide it, and you go through the whole process, and then they write down TT, TT, ta. Let's read the rhythm. Ready, go. T-T-T-T-ta. Oh, wait a minute. Did we forget something? Why is there an empty beat? Is there a word there? Is there a syllable there? Naughty kitty cat. No, there's no sound. Is that a ta if there's no sound? Is it a TT if there's no sound? No, we don't know what that is. And you draw a question mark. Now, this is only if you're using Naughty Kitty Cat as a preparation lesson for ta rest, where we don't know what that beat is. And you'd figure out that this one is also an unknown rhythm. This is also a beat of silence. That's the trait, a beat of silence, of no sounds. And then you take your hands, you show them like this when you get to those beats of silence. Here we go. T-T-T-T-ta, T-T-T-T-ta, T-T-T-T-T-T-T-T-T-T-ta. But when you get to this part, if you are practicing ta rest, instead of drawing a question mark, you can actually have them draw a rest. And I draw a ta rest with a Z and a C. That's how I tell the kids, a Z and a C. That's a really easy way of describing how to draw a ta rest. This is a great song for use during preparation for ta rest or even practice for ta rest, is drawing it on a worksheet that they're able to draw the entire rhythm and the ta rest. And if they know what a ta rest is, you've already taught it to them, then instead of going silently, you can have them whisper rest. Ti, 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 ta, rest. Ti, 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 ta, rest. Ti, 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 ta, rest. And this song is perfect for teaching ta rest. And now let's look at the melody. You have butter on your whiskers, naughty kitty cat. Look at this cute icon that I made. I just went onto Google Images and found a little kitty cat and then printed them onto cardstock and, of course, put a magnet on the back. And you can put 5 in a row here to work on melody. This song has a really clear naughty kitty cat. Use your body. Naughty kitty cat. You are very fat. It has the same melody for the first 2 motives. Naughty kitty cat. And I always at this point look at the class who just sang it correctly and I go, oh no, you sang the melody right, but I wrote the melody wrong. Which one needs to go to a different place? Naughty kitty cat. Sing it the right way. Naughty kitty cat. Which one needs to go into a new place? Which one? The first one, the second one? And they'll raise their hand and someone will say the first. And we'll put this one up and we'll sing it. Naughty kitty cat. No, that doesn't work. And someone will say the last, or the 5th one, and I put that one up. Naughty kitty cat. That doesn't sound right. Sing it again with me. Naughty kitty cat. And finally, someone will say the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th one. Let's try it. Naughty kitty cat. It goes up higher. So this is a preparation lesson for la. So, la, so. They don't know the name la. We're first working on, is there a pitch that is higher than so? This body sign may be new to them. It's pretty early in the la preparation because we're still in icons. We're not even on a staff. Now, another way I like to show this is by using a staff. This would be a little bit of a later lesson. I would put a so clef right up here. In fact, this would be so late, it would be a practice lesson. I would go right back to Naughty Kitty Cat and show it on a staff. Usually underneath the document camera, something like that. We have a so clef, and it's up here. Naughty Kitty Cat. I'd show them the so, right here, 5 so's, and we have to figure out which one is wrong. Naughty kitty cat. We would do the exact same process. Which one needs to be changed? And someone would say the 3rd, so you erase it. What is higher than a so? Yeah, it's a la, and we show them an L. Naughty kitty cat. No, that doesn't sound right. Now, I often try to choose students that I know it's up in the air as to whether they'll get the answer right or not. You know those students that you can choose them and they'll always have the answer right? I don't want to get the answer right at first. So I often choose students, I don't know, maybe they will get it right, but students don't always get it right the first time. So I like to choose a student. You just don't know what they're going to say. And then someone else will say the 5th, and someone else will finally say the 4th. So you erase that one, and you put a la, and you sing it in solfa. So, la, so. Try it with the words. Naughty kitty cat. It's a great way of showing the same motive on a staff in a different key with a so clef and on the spaces and a line. Well, that's for a preparation and a practice for la, but what about using it for older kids we're going to do a practice lesson for Ray. Naughty kitty cat. Try that with your body. Naughty kitty cat. Have you ever seen the body signs for Ray? Naughty kitty cat. And we have a staff here with a do clef on F. If do is down here, what about naughty? If do is here, what about naughty? Of course, that is a me. Both of the sounds, naughty. If do is on a space, me is on the space above it. Naughty kitty cat. And what does it end on? Cat, yeah, it ends on a do, which is on the same space. When I'm doing a me, re, do motive, I really like to do the me and then the do so we can focus on the re in between. What about kitty, cat, kitty? Is kitty higher than cat or lower? Yeah, it's higher. Is it a step higher or a skip higher? Very good question. Step higher or skip higher? And it's a step higher because we would have already been working on a step higher or skip higher. This is going to be a very late preparation for Ray, or a presentation of Ray, or an early practice of Ray. So they would already have learned that our new pitch is a step higher than do. If we have a do, a step higher is on the line above it, especially if this is your next practice lesson right after presentation. There will be already kids yelling out, oh, it's a Ray. Me, Ray, do. Of course. Try that with your hand. Me, re, do. With your hand signs, me, re, do. I wonder how many of you use two hands when you're doing solfa? Would you tell me in the comments? I only use one, and I've always wondered if it's better to use bilateral and do two. I've always done one, but I'm always open to new ideas. Me, re, do. And if you want to, you can erase the do clef and instead move the do clef up to the G line, and then everything else is wrong. The do is on the line, the re is a step higher on the space above it, and the me is a step higher than that on the line. Me, re, do. Try it. Me, re, do. Simple Ray practice. That means Naughty Kitty Cat isn't just for the youngest kids. It is not just for kindergartners or first graders. I use it in second grade, even up into third grade. And I'll tell you what, the fifth graders enjoy doing it too, especially at the end of the year when they know they're about to leave for middle school and they want something new to do that reminds them of their childhood. It's really a fun game to play. And it's been fun talking to you about it today. I'll see you next time in the music room. Bye-bye. Naughty kitty cat, you are very fat. You have butter on your whiskers, naughty kitty cat.